fire those on there, my man. You went home and got the Canada Goose jacket.
Yeah, well, I have to represent, right?
I know. Hey, by the way, how nice is the Canada Goose jacket? Look at the layers on this thing. Let's see this thing. Look at this.
He's about to steal it from you.
I'm the warmest Inuk in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, right?
Shouldn't be even wearing this.
Yeah, no kidding.
You should have your shirt off.
Yeah.
Just be like...
Nice to be back in Nashville, too.
Yeah, it is. You know, obviously great to be around the fans and see familiar faces, and don't really remember a lot of the faces, you know, because the kids love to have a good time here.
Hey, but by the way, so we just did an autograph session a couple hours ago before this, and some of the photos that people were bringing in of like their babies, who, you know, me and you would be like with a picture of the kid, and the kid was like a year old, and now he's 20.
Yeah.
I'm like, how old are you right now? He's like 20. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. No,
but hey, back then the fans were like, I still recall some of the, you know, the people that were, you know, always at our practice. You know, we grew up and there was maybe 30 people that would come religiously to our practices. They all came by today to say hi.
Right on. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously we all played here, and the fan base and how they just support us, whether we won or we were losing, right? One of the greatest cities to be, to live and to play.
Yeah, I think the thing that blew me away too, we were at Toots, so there's lots of people, right? I saw the lineup, I'm like, up dog, these ain't for us, fellas. So I'm there for Toots, but when the guy had your ticket to your first game, the stub, and he said, he's like, I knew how special and important it was for the first person from where you're from to play that game. I was like, wow, that's amazing.
Like, you know, that's why I love interacting with the fans, because, you know, they bring a lot of material for us to sign, and it's like memorable stuff, right? Like the gentleman had my first NHL game ticket. He still had it intact, and it's just pretty cool to see stuff like that.
Yeah,
18 years old.
And then my second favorite thing was you and the up dog tarpless on the front of the Nashville, Tennessee or whatever.
That's still the newspaper. I've only seen photos.
What's it called? The Tennessee or
That's
whatever?
the actual newspaper.
Yeah, so when they approached me to do that, I was like, well, you want to do, you know, me and Uppy were single and young. And
Uppy's got smaller nips than me. He should get out there and do this.
So I remember calling Uppy. I'm like, hey, I can't do this photo shoot by myself. You got to come in and do it with me, kind of as a double header here. So the fans loved it.
Yeah.
The fans.
Everyone loved it. Look at this guy behind. Look at this guy. Leggy.
Oh, is that Leggy?
Leggy. He's a beauty, man. He's a beauty.
We were back for Pekka's game the other night, and we got the chance and we talked to Sully, but it's nice to see, like, he actually said Nashville did such a good job building their teams of just good guys. We never had, like, bad guys.
Yeah.
And not that, like, you play with bad guys, but, like, some guys you're like, I probably won't see this guy on an alumni game. Like, he probably won't come back. But, like, we had some great teammates.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say, we were probably the three most baddest guys ever in the history of Nashville Predators roster.
Yeah, that's why I was only here 1 year, too. So get out of here.
Yeah, no.
Like, nice to kind of come back. Like, you get to see Webbs, and Webbs, you know, Webbs is still a Montreal Canadian, but he came back. Pex and Webbs had such a good connection. And then, you know, just the Masons, and then Marty Erat, Marty Erat come back. Like, a lot of guys.
Yeah, like to see all those guys, to see, you know, year after year how the game has grown in Tennessee and in Nashville, and you see it now, you know, like I was just telling a few of the fans, this is probably one of the best Winter Classic kind of whole event I've seen since day one, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the setup here is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's great. And you know what, I asked Sully, and you were part of that team too, like, you know, my year here, we won our first playoff series, got by the Ducks, and all the GMs and the owners coming in and how happy they were. And it was just a step in the right direction, how hard the organization had worked to get there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like we talked about it the other day. You know, when we won that first round, the owners that's when the whole shift of new ownership came in. They come into the dressing room, high-fiving us, you know, like we won the Stanley Cup. We're all like, hey, guys. Like,
we got to play the Canucks next year, buddy. But Sully made a great point, too, because that's how I looked at it, too. And Sully was like, if you look at it from the ownership and management, it was such a mountain to get over that they were just relieved that, okay, now we can take the next step.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But as players, we're like, as players, we got to win the next series, so let's keep it going.
Absolutely. No, it was a pretty special moment. And, you know, Joel Ward scoring the game-winning goal and sleeping in his pregame nap. He didn't show up to the game. I think it was like a 5:30 game. He showed up to the rink like at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, it was great. We're like, Wardle, you know, but it could happen to anyone. He's like, yeah, I just kind of had overslept. And
Loops did that too in Anaheim. His first week of being his first week in Anaheim as a young player.
He didn't time the traffic right.
He didn't time the traffic, so he showed up to the game like right before warm-ups. He got caught in an hour and a half traffic. Nice to have your girls here, Toots.
Yeah, you know, it's every time I come back here, the city is just growing and growing, right? Like where we're staying. Back when I was here, we never ever went. It was, you know, kind of more of a rundown area.
Yeah.
So now walking in behind the arena there, everything's changed. Like usually I'm a landmark kind of guy. So every time I walk out of the bar, where's the Batman building? Oh, right there. Okay, there. Now I know where I am. Now I walk out of our hotel, I can't even see the Batman building.
That's what I said. I'm like, you used to be able to come out and peek around the corner and be like, okay, right there. Now you're like, I can't see anything. This is nuts.
And that's because we were always, that's because we were always stumbling home. We're like, where's the Batman building? There it is. All right, I live down there. I'll go that way.
Yeah.
But Toots, you talk about, you know, you came on with us the other day, and we're going to release it, you know, this week coming up. But like, just talking to you, buddy. Like I told Uppy after, like, you know, how you were, you know, you're so comfortable now with where you are and talking about stuff, and it was refreshing for both of us, man. It was blown away of just where you are and how happy you are, man.
Yeah,
so
thank
it's
you.
awesome, man. It's really awesome.
You know, it's all about the journey, right? And a lot of guys, former players, current players, you know, like Toots, how do you do it? And we talked about it, you know, mind over matter.
Yeah.
You know, you got to want to hear. Obviously, for me, I was at a point in my career where I had to make a choice. Do I want to keep playing or do I want to wither away, like, and never see the game again? But, you know, the journey for me is one day at a time. I'm not one to go and preach to people, and, you know, for me, I'll share my story if you're willing to listen, and, you know, I get to do it on podcasts like your guys.
Yeah, of course. And your book, Toots, I remember you sending me your book and signing it to me, and it was one of the first books I've ever read, knowing the person and really knowing you. So for our listeners out there, like if you really want to understand your story and a good message from a great place, you know, go all the way. It's an incredible book. And then, you know, meeting your film crew that you're doing right now. Got a little documentary coming out.
Yeah, it's going to be
heads up for that. That'll be an all tell tale.
Looking forward to that. You know, obviously it's doing all this is like getting weight off my shoulders, right? It's been a healing journey, and always great to see old teammates, right? Like this guy over here,
Leggy.
David Leggy.
One of the best. One of the best.
The guy.
No one loved the road.
The guy showed me around Nashville for a number of years.
He was my first roommate, by the way. He let me live with him in my first training camp. Like, you live with Leggy? I live with Leggy. Well, Poyle told me to get in there, and I'm like, sure. The guy's got a sick shack. I'm like, 100% I'm in there. I didn't learn too much from him, though, but obviously they were like, you're having too much fun up, dog.
Toots, how great was it, too, with the autographs? Like, how much you mean to the people of this city, right? Like, I was a suitcase, I bumped around, and fans like me, but for you, people to come up, and it's got to be a pretty cool feeling.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely. I think at the time when we're playing, you know, you kind of take things for granted, and you don't really put things into perspective until you're able to sit back and kind of assess the whole thing. And every time I come back to Nashville and people still recognize me, pretty special feeling.
Yeah. You were the most recognizable guy when we played here. And I got to ask you, is there a part of you, because this guy always talks about I can still play. Is there a part of you right now that we said, hey, throw on the 22, get out there and get on the forecheck? Is there a part of you that would like to put the guy right through the third?
Yeah, it was funny because last night a couple of my film crew members were like, hey, Toots, do you think you can... I'm like, give me 1 month of training. You know, like I feel great.
Shape,
like I feel pretty good. I know I can still play.
Yeah, you can play 8 minutes a night right now in this league. No, but I mean, like
the only problem is to kick him out of the league after he hit a guy one time. They'd be like, you're out.
Yeah, but you know, obviously, I'm at a place in my life where I walked away from the game on my own terms, and I was able to be comfortable and move on to the next chapter of my life and enjoy that part.
Yeah, and you're so right. It's been a great weekend for so many different reasons, but I'm with you, and I said this to Uppy this morning when we were having breakfast, like how nice was it just hanging out with guys you played with, and then yesterday we saw some guys from the Lightning, Corey Perry, Patty Maroon, like it made me realize like how lucky we were to play this game.
Yeah, it's like, you know, sometimes we don't see our teammates for 10 years, but it's like we never missed a beat when we see each other again, right? Like you where your conversation left off, you just started it when you see the guy next time, you know, so it's pretty fucking
Have
awesome.
you been keeping up playing guitar?
No, I'm too busy with my 2 little ones. I would love, I mean, I got 3 guitars.
You actually got me into playing guitar. I believe that?
Play for about 5 minutes and my fingers start
starts
blistering
bleeding
up, so I got to practice more.
Then you're like, give me the harmonica, I got this.
You play the harmonica?
You play
Play
it all.
anything, man.
Wow, the harmonica is a sneaky, sick instrument. I wish I could play the harmonica.
100%.
Danny Clinch, when he goes up on stage with like Veteran, those guys that plays the harmonica,
changes the whole song.
Changes the whole song.
Yeah, I used to serenade a lot of people with the harmonica.
I know you serenaded. I know you serenaded a lot of people. I know that. I didn't know it was with the harmonica though.
Are you looking forward to seeing any of these bands today, Toots? Yesterday we actually at practice yesterday we saw a couple. We saw Miranda Lambert. Remember Miranda Lambert and her dad? Remember we met her dad? Was it her dad?
No, it was Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I think at one point it was Miranda Lambert. I met her at one point and had beers with her. I think her old man. Great guy. But anyway, Dierks Bentley.
Yeah.
He's playing over there today.
Good
remember
buddy of mine.
when we were young, Dierks Bentley just kind of came into Nashville. I remember him buying a sick shack and having like a couple after parties there.
Yeah, well, like we were part of like a lot of the big star country musician stars today, you know, just watching them grind away. Perfect example, Dierks Bentley. You know, he wasn't early 2000s. He was still grinding away, and you look at him now, humbled as can be.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think like music and sports, you know, we just click with each other all the time, and Nashville's like a perfect city to, you know, mingle with, you know, the football players, the country singers, and tons of celebrities live around
I always
here.
said like athletes wanted to be rock stars and
Yes.
rock stars wanted to be athletes, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like it's so true. That's
Oh
that's
yeah,
so
you
true.
know, you guys know of the air bands we have in the dressing room. Yeah, it's a
I thought I was a rock star. So I was still down by it.
yeah.
But Dierks Bentley, we bumped into him yesterday, and then we bumped into him in Phoenix for this. And humble is a great word for him,
Yeah.
right? He knows it better than me, but comes over, shakes your hand, just
Yeah,
a
I've
great
been
guy.
on the ice with him a few times. The guy is
he all right?
legit, man.
Yeah.
The guy can skate like the wind.
You know who's legit is Taylor Kitsch. We played a charity game I was telling you about in Jersey for Chris Shupp, and Taylor Kitsch came out and played. He was an actor from Vancouver.
Friday Night Lights.
And he was flying. Because you
He's
hear
actually from
actors like,
Kelowna,
yeah, how
too,
good are you? He was flying to it. So I'm like, slow down before I cross-check you, Taylor.
Yeah.
Slow down, buddy. Slow down.
Are you looking forward to Toots? So this is something. Toots and I played against each other at a Winter Classic game.
Well, he's in Chicago?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was in.
St. Louis.
Yeah, any good memories of that? I remember having you over for the Christmas Eve before with your girls, and my mom and dad were there. Brent was there with his girls.
Yeah. No, like for me, it was just enjoying the whole experience, you know, because I was on teams in prior years that had the Winter Classic, but I got sent down or injured, so I never had a chance. And fortunately, I got to play against Updog in
Did you
St.
run 'em?
Louis. No, I mean I got like 4 shifts. So.
Yeah, it was.
But for me, like my wife and our youngest, or Sienna, our oldest daughter, was there.
Yeah.
Just soaking it all in. It was awesome.
The skates, and it's a great time. It's a great moment. They just share it with all their families. And then we had John Cooper on yesterday, and you know, I think he's like, you know, we'll have fun after the game, but they mean business.
Yeah.
They're kind of, and then we watched them in practice, and we're like, these guys are legit. They're
Well,
like,
yeah, and you know
That
Nashville.
Kucherov looked like Legwan back in the day out there in the Warriors skate.
for sure. You know Nashville's going to come guns a-blazing because, you know, they're playing the Stanley Cup
It's back-to-back
champions, right?
champs, yeah.
Back-to-back
absolutely.
champs.
So
Who do you like? We got DraftKings. If you had to pick a team, you're taking the Preds, obviously.
Oh, come on,
Yeah,
Obi,
stupid
of course.
question. Stupid
Yeah,
question. Stupid question.
good. It's good
Figure
money.
it out,
They're
bro.
underdogs, so it's a good, you know, that's a good play.
Yeah, I'm calling.
What's the score? What do you
3-2
think? 3-2 Preds.
3-2.
3-2
We're gonna
Preds.
see a fight. No, we're not gonna see a fight. Patty Maroon. Who could he fight? Maybe I don't know. Somebody besides the puck. Besides the puck.
Jeanette.
Yeah, Jeanette.
You know what? We talked about Jeanette many times, and I'm almost positive he's gonna
go.
He's gonna be skating around.
Yeah,
Good old
yeah.
Sasky boy.
Yeah, Roman the Red, eh? Roman the Red.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, Toots, say
And we all know Patty's a gamer. So.
He'll go. Yeah. We saw the bigger. It's great to see a guy like that still going, too. It's like a big boy that can play the right way and gets rewarded. So I'm
Well,
happy
it's
for him.
not only about the game. It's in the dressing room where fans don't see, you know, these role players are pretty much the glue of the team, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We all know. Like, you know, I was a guy who wasn't very vocal early in my career, but towards the end, you know, you got to do whatever you got to do to stay in. And I, you know, in Chicago playing with all the dressing room.
Really?
I'm black and white. Tell how it is.
Yeah, no, that you are. But
Just walking around the room naked too, just like,
and you were talking about being a teammate when we recorded the pod a couple days ago. The thing that you did the best is you made guys feel safe out there too. I wanted to say this a couple days ago, but like even when I played with you, it was like, no, it's nice to have Toots out here.
Better to have him on your squad than not on your squad.
I played against you so much that I was like, I got traded to Nashville. Second game, when I'm like, God, it's nice to have Toots out there. Like just a guy that. If push comes to shove, I got your back kind of thing. So
it's nice to have him right here on our squad too.
Yeah,
Toots, we appreciate you coming on.
My pleasure, boys.
Hi, the boys.
Toots, it's great. We're gonna hang some more tonight.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's been
you guys
great.
Stay warm, Uppy.
Yeah, I'm shaking.
Like you're
well,
nice
look,
and warm.
I got buddy, I didn't even bring a winter jacket.
So
all right,
I guess my
Canada
Goose jacket's in the mail or something, eh? Or what's?
Wow, you made enough dough in your career. You can slap a few bills
He's
down.
overpaid his whole career, wasn't he?
no
I tell you.
Oh yeah, it's better to be overpaid than underpaid.
I know.
Okay, boys.
Toots,
All
thank
good?
you, buddy. Yes,
I appreciate
thank you.
it.
Appreciate it, Toots. Thank you, buddy.
Uppy.
Thanks, brother.
All right, boys.